play, which means we're going to start with Gonzaga, Arkansas. That's number 1 seed Gonzaga, 4 seed Arkansas, inside the Chase Center, San Francisco. It's going to be Thursday night, tip-off 7:09 p.m. Eastern. Gonzaga is listed as a 9-point favorite. David Cobb, do you give the Razorbacks a legitimate shot to upset the Zags in California?
Yeah, absolutely. This is random, but have you ever thought that perhaps Mark Few and Eric Musselman could be brothers?
I could see that, sure.
One's the reserved brother, one's the more outgoing brother. Anyway, that just crossed my mind when I was looking at this matchup. They're close in age. They're both short, blonde hair, whatever. That's maybe the end of the similarities. But I think Arkansas has a chance, because if you go back to last year's Elite Eight game, Arkansas versus Baylor ended up winning that game by around 10 points, if I recall. But Arkansas was in that game the entire way and wasn't outclassed. It was clear Baylor was the more talented team, but it was also obvious that Arkansas had the self-belief to compete in that spot. And I think this Arkansas team is not quite as talented as last year's team was with Moses Moody and Justice Smith, but I do think that this Gonzaga team might not be quite as good as last year's Baylor national champion was. So just looking at it from that perspective, Eric Musselman will be a master motivator and have his guys believing that they can go out there and hang with the Zags, especially after the Zags demonstrated they were somewhat vulnerable during the first weekend.
I've been asked a lot over the past few days, it's like, are you concerned about Gonzaga after, the way Memphis played them? Memphis was up 12 in the first half, 10 at halftime, and then the Zags, behind an incredible effort from Drew Timme, ended up winning the game, I believe by 4 points. And so my answer consistently has been no. I actually was impressed by Gonzaga with the way that they handled that Memphis situation. I mean, they go down 12. They're down 10 at the break. At that point, on the live line, they were actually 2-point underdogs in the game. With 20 minutes left to go, Memphis was favored to win that game. And then Timme went off. Memphis didn't play poorly in the second half. The Zags just took their best punch and punched back and showed themselves to be the better team. I was encouraged by that.
They decided, it was like at halftime, they decided that they weren't going to play like no soft guys anymore.
I love that he said to stop himself and say, we're not going to play like soft guys. It's hilarious from Drew Timme. So he was awesome in that second half. He's been awesome in this NCAA tournament. I still think Gonzaga should be the favorite to win the whole thing. Still my pick to win the whole thing. Timme's averaging 28.5 points, 13.5 rebounds in this tournament, on his way to, if the Zags get there and win it all, looking like the most likely person to be the most outstanding player of the Final Four. Arkansas's leading scorer is scoring, but not efficiently, not like Timme. And obviously they're very different players, but JD Notte is just 10 of 34 from the field in this NCAA tournament. It's 29.4%. So he's going to have to be a lot better. I mean, he's going to get points no matter what, because he's going to get shots up no matter what. But he's got to be a little more efficient. Like if he's going to take 17 shots, he's got to make a bigger percentage of them than what he's been making so far in this NCAA tournament. It is worth noting, though, the Razorback strength is their defense. Arkansas, after it dropped to 0-3 in the SEC, that's what it started, 0-3 in the SEC. If you go to BartTorvik.com and run the numbers from January 9th, that's the day after they dropped to 0-3 in the SEC. If you run the numbers from January 9th to the present, the Hogs are third in adjusted defensive efficiency, according to KenPom. Now, Gonzaga on the season is top 10 in offense and defense. So, the Zags are rock solid on both sides of the ball, but Arkansas will put up some resistance. Bottom line, I think Gonzaga wins the game. But 9's a big number. I might take Arkansas. I will take Arkansas plus the 9, but Gonzaga to win the game. Where are you at on it?
That's where I am as well. And I think a key to this game could be Arkansas getting Gonzaga foul trouble, and not just the front court. Like, obviously, Holmgren is somewhat susceptible to fouls, but I don't trust the guards on this Gonzaga team beyond Nembhard and Rasir Bolton. I don't trust Salas and Hickman to take big-time shots and big-time moments when Arkansas is on a run or something like that. So that's my big question with Gonzaga. Nimard and Bolton have been phenomenal as of late in big games. Can they keep that up? And what happens if one of them needs to leave the game for an extended period of time? Do we trust those freshman guards? I don't trust them like I did Jalen Suggs, that's for sure.